everybody, this is Miss Gilman. Today we're going to be going over the Unit 1 study guide. Your unit test is coming up, so we're going to be going through the study guide together on the video today. So please make sure that you are taking notes and making sure that you're studying the questions that are on this test, or I'm sorry, on the study guide, because your test is going to be very similar to the questions that you're going to see today. So we're going to start by doing part of our game. So we played a game earlier in the year called Name That Number. We've practiced this in class. So one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make the number 18, and you can use these cards. So my suggestion for this activity, this is something we've practiced a lot. The first one, I want you to start with an easy way to make the number 18. What is the easiest way that you can see to make the number 18? Remember, you can add, subtract, multiply, or divide. For me, I would do 9 times 2. That is the simplest way. Notice in your directions it says use grouping symbols in at least one of the expressions. So you do need to use grouping symbols. I'm going to do that for my next question. I'm actually going to do the same idea. I'm going to do 9 times 2 in parentheses. And I'm going to actually multiply that by 4 minus 3. Using order of operations, 4 minus 3 is 1. 9 times 2 is 18. And if I multiply 18 times 1, my answer is 18. There are several ways to find this answer. You could have done 11 plus 4, which is 15, plus 3, which is 18. You also could have put parentheses. You could have done 11 plus 9, my bad, sorry, minus 2. That also has parentheses and equals 18. You can only use your numbers one time. You cannot use 9 plus 9. You can only use those numbers one time. Number 2, find the area of the rectangle. Write a number sentence to show your thinking. The first thing I want you to remember is to find area, we do length times width. So your number sentence could be 6 times 1 and a half. You also could have written 1 and a half plus 1 and 1/2 plus 1 and 1/2 plus 1 and 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could use repeated addition. Now, I am going to use the picture to help me solve my problem. I have 6 whole units. I know that if it's halves, it takes 2 to make another whole. So here's 6. Now I have 7, 8, 9. Your answer would be 9 square units. Remember, when you find area, it's units squared. Area is 2-dimensional. That's your hint to remember it's squared. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3, there are problems that we need to solve using our order of operations. Remember, we do parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. Remember, multiplication, division, we do from left to right. Addition and subtraction from left to right. Parentheses first, 3 plus 6 is 9. I rewrite my problem. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times 3, 27. Plus 6, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. (42) divided by 2. I do that first because it is in parentheses. 42 divided by 2 is 21. 21 plus 4 is 25. And then finally, 2 plus 4, I do that first because it's in parentheses. That is 6. 42 divided by 6 is 7. Circle the items below that have volume. Remember, a volume is something that is 3D or three-dimensional, something you can pick up. To me, the tip of a pencil right here is three-dimensional. It is big enough to be three-dimensional. I would say that does have volume. Not a lot, but a little bit. A soccer ball absolutely does have volume. A jar does have volume. A drawing of a square. Is that three-dimensional? Nope. A tube of toothpaste. Can you hold a tube of toothpaste in your hand? Absolutely. And the top of a shelf. That means the top layer. The top layer of a shelf is not three-dimensional. It is flat. Now we're moving on to page number 2. Page number 2, number 5 says, Samantha filled a box and said its volume was 49 balls. Luke filled the same box and said its volume was 71 cubes. Explain how Samantha and Luke could get different volumes for the same box. They got different volumes because they used different units. That is one option. The units were different sizes. That's another option you could choose. I would take this as an answer or this. If you said they're different sizes, that's fine as well. Are balls or cubes better for measuring volume in a rectangular prism? And why? Make sure you answer both parts of the question. A lot of you did not answer it. You just told me why. You need to say cubes are better because you can say they leave less space. They line up perfectly. They reach the corners. I would take any of those answers. If I am moving too fast, please feel free to rewind, watch, or pause the video at any time. Number 6, how many cubes would it take to fill this prism? I see that this prism, I don't have a base that's filled in, so I'm going to use length, width, and height on this one. My length, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. My width, I'm looking this way and I'm going to see 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. And finally, my height, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what is 4 times 3 times 8? Well, 4 times 3 is 12. Multiply that by 8. 8 times 2, 16. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Your answer is 96. On the next one, I'm actually going to do base times height because I can see my base right here and see how many are in my base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My base is 12. Now my height. Miss Gilman, it's not high. Now it's a height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My height would be 7. So what is 12 times 7? 7 times 2 is 14. Carry my 1. 7 times 1 plus 1, 8. So 84 cubes to fill it. It is 84 units cubed. Compare the strategies. I used length times width times height for number 6A. For 6B, I did base times height. They are the same because I found the volume. So this tells me how they're different. I did length times width times height, base times height. And it also tells me how they're the same. Pause the video if you need to write this down. Make sure you are ready to answer these questions when you have your test. Number 9. Four square inches would a side length of 1/2 fit in 1 square. This is 1/2. This is 1/2. 1/2, 1/2. Remember, I cut it into pieces. So there are 4 that fit in 1 square inch. 25 square inches fit here because I separate them into fifths. There are 5 rows going across, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to separate them and give them 5 columns going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The total number of boxes is 25. How many squares with a side length of 1/6 would fit into 1 square inch? You can use the picture to help you. Here's my reminder. Look at your denominator and your total number of squares. Remember, you basically can take that denominator times itself, and that tells you how many squares. But I'm going to do the picture just to check. So I'm going to start by separating this into sixths. I'm not a perfect artist, so bear with me. Yes, there are 6 rows, right? I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut each half into thirds. That's how you can cut it into sixths. And then I can count. Absolutely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Or I could take my denominator and multiply it by itself. 6 times 6. What pattern do you notice about the relationship of the side length of the smaller squares and the number of squares that fit into 1 square inch? To this question is, I would say, when you multiply the denominators together, it tells you how many pieces. There will be. Please take a moment and write that down. It says use the pattern to describe how many squares with a side length of 1/7 will be in 1 square inch. I multiply 7 times 7 and know there will be 49 squares in 1 square inch. Something along those lines. Again, pause the video if you need to write this down. Of the rectangular prism, remember to include a unit. This is important. You have to include a unit. Now, the good thing is my lovely test makers and study guide makers put the unit on here for you. So if you don't know the unit, really double check and make sure that you're choosing the right one. Now, this one I have a length, width, and height. This one I have a base and height. 4 times 8 is 32 times 4, 128. My number sentence would be 4 times 8 times 4. You also could have done 4 times 4 times 8. As long as you have the same numbers, you're okay. This one, we're going to do base times height, so 12 times 6. I know that 12 times 6 is 72. All right, time for the last page of this study guide. Let's get it done. Let's finish strong. Again, if you need to pause, feel free to do so. All right, number 13, Zoe was raising money for debate. She earned $27 from her lemonade stand, $13 for watching her neighbor's pet. She donated half of the money to the food bank. Write an expression that shows the amounts of money that Zoe donated. Okay. So she started by earning $27. Then she earned 13 more for watching her neighbor's pet. So I'm going to add those together. That's what I got to do first. She donated half of the money to the food bank. So now I need to figure out how to take away half to figure out what she donated. So I'm going to divide by 2. This is how you would do that expression. What did they start with? Did they earn or lose money? And then what do you do with that? All right, here we go. This one, I'm going to cut my picture this way. I think that's going to be easiest way for me. I see that this is 4 centimeters. I see this is 6 centimeters and this is 2. So I know for this box, I'm going to do 4 times 2 times 6. I see for this box, I have 6 by 2 by 6. So 6 times 2 times 6. Let's do the math. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 6 is 72. Now I add those together. So 72 plus 48. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry my 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. Your answer is 120 centimeters cubed. don't forget your label. How did you find the volume? I found the volume of box 1 by multiplying 4 times 2 times 6. I found the volume of box 2 by multiplying 6 times 2 times 6. Then I added them together. That's how you solve that problem. Wording on your test should be very similar to this. Tell me how you find the volume of each one. Tell me what you did with those numbers at the end. And our last question, it says, write the volume of each figure, then circle the one that would win. All right, my number sentence for this would be 5 times 8 times 5. 5 times 8 is 40, times 5 is 200 cubic inches. Don't forget your label. All right, 5 times 6 times 7 plus 4 times 4 times 6. Let's do the math. 4 times 4 is 16 times 6. 36, carry my 3, so 96. 5 times 6 is 30, times 7 is 210. 210 plus 96 equals 306 cubic inches. My largest one would be B. That's how you do that problem. All right, I know this is a lot of information. It's a 25-minute long video. This is the study guide. This is what your test will look like. The questions will be very similar. Please try your best. Make sure you're studying and getting ready. If you have questions, make sure to let your teacher know. Thanks.